Hello everyone and welcome back to Clues by Sam. It's Saturday today and we have a hard one. And if by any chance you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it's a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people on a board. Each of them may be a criminal or an innocent, and you gotta figure out what each person is using the clues that they give you. You gotta do no guessing, and the game sometimes changes in difficulty, so if you want to try it, there's a link in the description, and if you do, let me know later how it went for you. But if you just want to follow along, let's start now. We see Henry telling us that there are no innocents to the right of Bonnie. To the right of Bonnie, there's two people, Claire and Ellie, so none of them are innocents, right? And now Claire tells us that exactly two innocents in column B are neighboring Frank. In column B, Frank has three people neighboring him, so two of them have to be innocent, one of them has to be a criminal. And Ellie tells us that exactly two of the four innocents neighboring Sue are in column B. So Sue has 8 people neighboring her. 4 of them, so half, are innocents. And 2 of them are in column B. Sue herself is in column B, so she only has 2 people neighboring her in the same column. Both of them have to be innocent. And let's leave that clue there because it tells us there's 2 more innocents here for us to figure out. Now Luigi tells us that there's something oddly relaxing about logic. Yes, there is. Comfort of knowing that you're doing something because it's right. And Wanda tells us that there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Alex. Alex has 3 people neighboring him. So what we know is that, remember from the first clue, Frank has 2 people neighboring him in this column, column B. So one of them is Luigi, we figured that out, and there's only one other innocent here who may be Gabe or Bonnie, which tells us that Alex couldn't have Frank be an innocent as well, because that would be a total of 2 innocents, and that's not an odd number, so Frank for sure is a criminal. And we don't need Wanda's clue anymore, I don't think. Frank now tells us that no one in row 1 has more than 2 innocent neighbors. Oh, row 1 here. So we know that Claire is in row 1 and she's gonna have 2 innocent neighbors. Henry is one of them and the other one's gonna be either Bonnie or Gabe, which makes us sure that Jose cannot be an innocent. Otherwise, Claire, who is in row 1, would have more than 2 innocent neighbors, so Jose is a criminal. Now, Jose tells us that Nicole is one of Gabe's 4 innocent neighbors. Gabe has 8 neighbors total, just like Sue, and 4 of them are innocent, just like Sue. Nicole is one of them. And we don't know if Bonnie is an innocent yet, so we couldn't know about Alex and Katie. So let's leave that there for now. And Nicole tells us that only one person in row 2 has exactly 4 criminal neighbors, which is Gabe. We just learned that. So let's look at Henry, I guess, because Henry is for sure gonna have 3 innocent neighbors here, Nicole, Luigi, and either Bonnie or Gabe. So Henry couldn't have 4, which means that Pam, who is his last neighbor, couldn't be an innocent. And now Pam tells us that there are exactly 4 innocents in column B. Well, column B so far has 3 innocents, Luigi, Wanda, and either Bonnie or Gabe. That's 3. So Sue has to be the 4th one, because it's the only person left. And now Sue tells us that only one person in row 4 has exactly 4 criminal neighbors. Row 4 is here. Sue is the person in row 4 with 4 criminal neighbors. What about Tyler, though? Tyler so far has 4 criminal neighbors, which means that he has to have 1 more. Or maybe 3 more, we don't know. And Ronald has 3 so far, which means that either both Katie and Vera are innocent or both of them are criminal. Because if this was a one or the other, then Ronald would have 4 innocent neighbors as well. Oh, but we're talking about criminals. Oh, I almost made a mistake. I make all the time. One person in row 4 has exactly 4 criminal neighbors. That's confusing, but now we know that Tyler couldn't have all 3 of these people be criminals, because along with Pam, that would total 4. Or I guess, yeah, that's true. Because Sue is gonna have 4 criminal neighbors. So Tyler couldn't have 4 criminal neighbors. But does that help us with anything? Yeah, I guess not. Exactly 2 of the 4 instances they were in Sue and column B. Yeah. 2 instances in column B are neighboring Frank. Yeah. Gabe has 4 innocent neighbors. Have I just missed a clue that I should have kept in mind? Only one person in row 2 has exactly 4 criminal neighbors. We've done that. The only other person in row 2 is Gabe. What about Frank? Because Frank, row 2 is talking about criminal neighbors, right? So Frank has 2 innocent neighbors. He could have at most 3 criminal ones, so that isn't a problem for us. There's something okay, only one person in row 4 has exactly 4 criminal neighbors. So that's the clue that I have to act on. So not number of innocents neighboring Alex. That's only one innocent. There are exactly 4 innocents in column B. I think I gotta do something with Sue and Tyler. Because there's no way for these 3 people to be all criminals because of what I just said. If that were the case, both Sue and Tyler would have 4 criminal neighbors, which couldn't happen, according to Sue. So someone here at least has to be innocent. Can we think about Uma? Uma is also in row 4 and couldn't have 4 criminal neighbors, and she has 5. 3 of them haven't been assigned yet, but she has Pam, which is 1 criminal. So if all of these people are criminal, Uma would also have 4 criminal neighbors, which can't happen. So there has to be 1 innocent here and 1 innocent here. Okay? How do I know which is which? Because we could have 2 innocents here. No, we couldn't. That's a lie. Because that would break Sue. Sue has to have 4 criminal neighbors, so these 2 can't both be innocents. Can they both be criminals? If Zach is innocent. They can. But they can't both be criminals if Zach is a criminal. Is there a way for Zach to be an innocent, a criminal? if Xavi is innocent. It's been a while since I've done this type of elimination, so I'm kind of rusty, but let's try to make Zach a criminal. Start with that. If Xavi is innocent, then that works, because now Tyler has only 3 criminal neighbors. Uma has only 3 criminal neighbors, and Sue can have her 4 if all of these people are criminals. Okay. Now, we just established that Xavi could be a criminal if Zach is innocent, because that's the same situation. Sue could have 1 innocent neighbor here and 2 criminal ones, and then 2 criminal ones here, so that's 4 for her. Tyler still has only 3 criminal neighbors. And Uma still has only 3 criminal neighbors. So both Xavi and Zach could be any of them. Now let's try to make Uma an innocent. That would work just fine. Because now Tyler for sure can't have 4 criminal neighbors. Even if yeah, even if these 2 are criminals. Because there's only 3 here. And we just saw that Uma could be a criminal if any of these guys are innocents. Could Tyler be an innocent? Of course he could. Because that would solve Uma's situation. But if Tyler is innocent, someone else here has to be an innocent. Which couldn't be Xavi. But it could be Uma. Both Uma and Tyler could be innocent. I guess these 2 have to be the same thing. Nah, because Uma could be a criminal and Tyler an innocent. That wouldn't break her total. And it wouldn't break Tyler's if someone else here is an innocent. Because Uma could have only 2 criminal neighbors, so I don't think this is the clue I gotta be looking at. Ooh. Now I'm confusing. I'm confusing? I'm confused. It hurt itself in its confusion. Let me look at the clues again. See if I'm getting dumber by the day. Oh, we gotta think about Bonnie, I think. Or do we? Bonnie and Gabe? No one in row 1 has more than 2 innocent neighbors. Let me clear these guys. So Alex and Bonnie, none of them can have more than 2 innocent neighbors, which means that Bonnie couldn't have more than 2 innocent neighbors. So if Gabe were to be an innocent, Alex would have to be a criminal. And Alex, there's no way for Alex to have more than 2 innocent neighbors because his total is 1. We know that. And if Alex is innocent, Gabe has to be a criminal. And then Claire would still, there's no way for Claire to have more than 2 as well. So I think this isn't what we have to be looking at. But these 2 are a one or the other as well. It all depends on Bonnie. So what about Claire? Exactly 2 innocents in column B are neighboring Frank. Yeah, there's no way for that to be broken, so I guess we don't need a clue anymore. Exactly 2 of the 4 innocents neighboring Sue are in column B. So Sue only has one more innocent neighbor. I guess we know that they have to be here, right? Nah, because both of these could be criminal. We just looked into that. If Zach is an innocent. There are no innocents to the right of Bonnie. Yeah, that's the most useless one. Nicole is one of Gabe's 4 innocent neighbors. Oh, we know about that. We know that Gabe has only 4 innocent neighbors. So if Gabe is a criminal, then Alex is gonna have to be an innocent. And then he'll have 4 innocent people neighboring him. And if Gabe is a criminal, then Bonnie is gonna have to be an innocent. So there's no way for Katie to be an innocent. Isn't it that? Because now Gabe has 4 innocent people neighboring him. Oh, but now Bonnie could have Alex being innocent. No. She couldn't, because now she has more than 2. Nah, that could happen. It hurt itself in its confusion, indeed. What am I talking about? Is there an undo button? Let me clear this up. Could Bonnie have these 2 guys be criminals? She could. It's totally plausible, because she can't have more than 2 innocent neighbors, but it doesn't mean that she has to have 2. She could have only 1. So these 2 could be both criminals. Now, could she... And then Gabe would have his 4 innocent neighbors. But if Gabe is an innocent, then for sure Bonnie is a criminal. And now Alex is a criminal as well. Because he has to be. So that Bonnie doesn't go over the 2 innocent neighbors limit. But is there a way for Alex to be an innocent? There is, if Gabe is a criminal and Bonnie an innocent. Nah, there isn't. Because in this situation, Gabe would have more than 4 innocent neighbors. So Alex is a criminal is the thing that we should have looked at before. Okay, that's okay. Little mistake there. Alex now tells us that Henry has more innocent neighbors than Vera. Henry has 3 innocent neighbors. Nicole, Luigi, and someone else here. So that's 3, which means that Vera couldn't have 3. She has 2 already, so the last person couldn't be an innocent as well. Which means that Ronald is a criminal. And we don't need Alex's clue anymore. Now Ronald tells us that column A is the only column with exactly 1 innocent. So we know that either Vera or Katie are an innocent and the other one is a criminal. Which also tells us that the last innocent neighbor that Sue has is here in column A. So both of these guys are criminals. I find logic games to be immensely stressful. Oh, Tyler, I'm sorry about that. The message is relaxing. This is not massage, not a message. That makes more sense. And And that also tells us that Zach is innocent, because otherwise Uma would have 4 criminal neighbors. So Zach has to be an innocent now. And now Zach tells us that only one person in row 3 has exactly 3 criminal neighbors. Who is that person? Anyone here could have 3 criminal neighbors. Anyone. So let's think about that. It doesn't matter what Uma is for Tyler, because there's no way for Tyler to have 4 criminal neighbors now. So we don't need that clue anymore. This one. Oh, we gotta look at Ronald's. Column A is the only column with exactly 1 innocent, so we know that column D couldn't have only 1, which means that Uma couldn't be a criminal, which means that she has to be an innocent. And then that makes it so Pam is the person in column in row 3 with 3 innocent neighbors. So Nicole has to have more than 3, and she does. Henry, Luigi, Sue, and Uma, so that's 4. Luigi has to have more than 3. So far he has 3. Sue, Nicole, and Henry, which means that someone else here has to be an innocent. But both of them could be innocents. So what else have I to look at? Oh, now we know that Gabe is this is gonna be a one or the other, because Gabe has to have only 4 innocent neighbors. So either Bonnie or Katie are going to be an innocent, and the other one a criminal. So what do we do in this situation? We tag. I think it's the easiest process to go through. Let's say that Gabe because who in row 3, only one person in row 3 has exactly 3 criminal neighbors. Criminal, not innocent. Why do I keep thinking wrong about things? Nicole, I don't understand. Like, do I read it right? I'm gonna look back at the footage. Nicole so far has 3 criminal neighbors. Luigi so far has 2 criminal neighbors. So either both Katie and Gabe are criminals, or both of them are innocents. Because if this was a one or the other, then both of them, then Luigi and Nicole, both of them would have 3 criminal neighbors. Not if Nicole has 4. Because if Gabe is a criminal, then Nicole has 4 criminal neighbors. And Luigi also has 4 criminal neighbors. Because Luigi already has 3, just as Nicole does. Pam couldn't have 4 or 3 because all of her neighbors are assigned. Oh, this must be painful to watch. So if Gabe and Katie are both innocents, now both Luigi and Nicole have 3 criminal neighbors each. So that is even more confusing. Because how does this work? Is Katie a criminal? And Gabe an innocent? It has to be. Because only in this configuration can someone have only 3 criminal neighbors. Nicole has 3 criminal neighbors. Because if Gabe were to be a criminal, even if Katie is an innocent, both of these people have more than 3 innocent neighbors. But Katie now has 3 innocent neighbors. And she is in row 3, so they are a one or the other. But how can Katie and Gabe be a one or the other, and Luigi and Katie and Bonnie as well? How can that be? Am I going crazy? If Gabe is a criminal, Bonnie has to be an innocent. And now Katie has to be a criminal. Oh yeah. But now Katie has 3 criminal neighbors, so that works fine. Even if both Luigi and Nicole have 4 criminal neighbors. Katie is the person who has 3. And if Gabe is an innocent, Bonnie has to be a criminal. And Katie has to be an innocent. Because Gabe has to have 4 innocent neighbors. But now no one in row 3 has 3 criminal neighbors. Yeah. So both Katie and Gabe have to be criminal. And Bonnie has to be an innocent. That was a lot. My doctor gave me puzzles for my anxiety. I'm looking for a new doctor. It's enjoyable. Like, I have fun with this. And I accept my mistake. I don't remember what it was already, so I guess it didn't matter that much. But it was a fun one for 27 minutes. Wow. I didn't expect to do it for that long, but I hope you enjoyed it and you didn't cringe that much, like always. And I'll be back tomorrow with more Clues by Sam. I'll see you.